I'm joined by Goldenglue after the unfortunate defeat 0-3 to Team Liquid. Goldenglue, what do you think went wrong in that series?
Man, almost everything. Um, I think that even when we're in good situations, we really lack the discipline to hold those positions. And when we got behind, we were not able to really do anything. So honestly, today was uh, we got we got very much humbled and need to do we just need to do better.
Did you feel like you played to your level? It's just Team Liquid kind of outclassed you? Or was this maybe an underperformance as well from you guys?
I definitely think TL outclassed us, but I do think we underperformed pretty drastically. I think like game one, for example, the swap went really well for us. You know, Varus was up a full, our AD was up a full level, our top was up a full level, and we didn't convert anything, and we ended up even just dying in that situation. So I think we definitely underperformed.
I have a couple questions about just general game concepts, and you're a coach, so maybe you can explain it to someone who doesn't really play. But I noticed that you guys were playing Smolder every single game, and obviously, like you kind of scale with a Smolder until he has his full stacks, and yet it seemed like you guys were trying to increase the pace of the game and not necessarily wait until he had those stacks. And like the dragons were taken really late, so there wasn't like a soul condition for Team Liquid or anything. So maybe you could explain to me, was that like Team Liquid being on the offense and you guys not being able to respond? Was that part of your game plan?
Yeah, I will say that aspect. I think that's one thing Team Liquid was doing a really good job of. I think they made us feel pressured a lot during the game, and that we like had to take fights, and that we had to defend things. Um, and often they just caught us off guard like quite a few times, and I think they apply a lot of pressure from ahead. And I think that we weren't able to buy the time for Smolder to scale in all the games.
When you're prepping for a team like Team Liquid, there's a lot of the prep. I know I asked this to almost everyone, but is the prep, hey, this is what Team Liquid's good at. These are the angles that we can defeat them with? Or is it, hey, this is what we're going to practice. It doesn't really matter who the opponent is. Let's just focus on ourselves.
I think for Team Liquid, we prepared quite a few things like individually, like for that team. I think it's kind of sad because a lot of the things that went wrong were things that we like very clearly pointed out, like this is how they want to play and how they want to win, and this is what we should do instead. And we just weren't able to do it today on stage. And Um, I think when you get to the best of fives, you do start practicing a lot more towards specifically the team you're going to be playing against.
One thing that Team Liquid kept doing is they heavily targeted Sniper. Game one, he did not have a great Renekton. Game three was also very rough. As a coach, what do you say? How do you like provide for? I mean, he's the greenest player on this team. I'm sure that he has the least experience in these like type of environments. How do you make sure he's still in the zone and is able to mentally reset after those games?
Yeah, you know, we had a chat with him after game two about resetting his mind mental. They definitely were trying to pick on him, and I think just in general, Team Liquid like pretty often play to impact and top condition. Um, I think it's like it's also hmm, hmm, yeah, I guess that's kind of all my thoughts. Like we have a conversation with them and you try to encourage them and put them on comfort picks is I think like the best way you can support your player in that way. Um, yeah, I'm kind of like low energy because I feel kind of unwell myself. Like I've been kind of sick the past couple days. But I think that's the best way to try to help your top laner or anyone who's uh feels like they're getting picked on in a series.
All right, I'll just ask you a couple more questions then. Sorry. Yeah, I noticed you were wearing the mask while you were doing the in-game like coach interview with Raz, I think. So I hope you feel well soon. You mentioned putting players on comfort picks. It seemed like you guys had the same strategy three times in a row, or very similar strategies three times in a row. When it doesn't work the first two games and you choose blue side again, you try a third time. Like, what's that discussion of like, hey, we should actually adapt or maybe throw some a curveball or just go back to comfort? How do you decide that as a team?
Well, I could see how people could think that our strategies look similar, but I think they were actually pretty different each game. I mean, the only like common denominator was that we picked Smolder early, but if you look at the rest of the draft, like it was pretty different games 2 and 3. Um, and I think that like I feel like our in between game alterations were pretty good. I think maybe we should have been the Talia 1 game earlier, but overall, the Talia wasn't even like that impactful in the game 1 as much as it was in game 2, I feel. Um, and I think the main thing was like draft didn't really matter that much. They were just outplaying us in like every situation. And even when we had leads, we would just toss them away too soon with undisciplined gameplay.
All right. You guys have a rematch with Dig. Give the Hundred Thieves fans some words. Supporting Tomo and his revenge, and hopefully an opportunity to kick Dig out of playoffs. So, some words to the fans.
Yeah, I mean, we 3-0'd them last time, and I feel like they're going to be coming with a chip on their shoulder. Um, should be a fun little rematch, and hopefully they can put up more of a fight than they did last time.
All right. Thank you for doing the interview, despite not feeling well, and good luck in your next game. I'll be cheering for you guys.
Thank you.
I mean, huge shout out to Goldenglue for actually doing not just one interview, not the interview with me. He did multiple interviews while sick. He did the coach interview, with Raz. So, yeah, I mean, shout out to him for pushing through his sickness and just doing it. Shout out to the whole Hundred Thieves roster. This has been a fun sort of journey to watch them playing. Probably beginning of the year, no one would have expected this to happen, and yet hey, they're in a position where they're rematching. The rematch is going to be pretty fun. Hopefully, they do put up more of a fight and we get like an exciting series. I think playoffs has just been like ramping up. We had some really fun series between Cloud9 and FlyQuest. We're going to see FlyQuest and Team Liquid. We're going to see like the rematch, and then we're going to see whoever plays Cloud9 for World Spot. Like all these matches are going to be fun. It's getting more excited. I'm trying to get better interviews, more interviews, and yeah, just after the games, disputing everything because I do think it's necessary to talk about the plays and the things that we're seeing, and not just because hey it's NA and no one really cares about NA. We're not actually going to talk about it. Like sure, in LCK you have Chovy picking Garen mid versus Nasus, but at the end of the day, like for North American fans, this is what we care about. So make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on more cool interviews like these.